out there and hope someone's going to take me to Stafford, and it happened?
Yeah, within, well, less than a minute.
Wow.
And then he had a cell phone. Cell phones weren't working in the Pentagon parking lot because I think they were just overloading the receivers there. But a few miles down the road, he connected with his wife, so two of us in the car asked his wife to call our wives, so now we were on the way home. So that's how, at least our wives knew that we were on the way home.
That you were okay?
Yeah. One thing, if I could say also, I've heard on the news there's been some anti-Arab and anti-Muslim sentiment. I think we ought not to tar Islam with the same brush as these terrorists any more than we would say that the Ku Klux Klan or the Aryan Brotherhood are representatives of Christianity. I grew up in the Imperial Valley of California. I remember the Japanese before World War I or World War II. My father used to take me to the dojos, and we'd watch them practice kendo and other martial arts before Pearl Harbor. And we bundled up all those people into those relocation camps, and there was mass hysteria about the Japanese. And I think we should have learned from that the overwhelming majority of Muslims in the world, and especially in this country, especially those in this country, are here because they came to this country like everyone else did. And we ought not to, we should reach out to them because I'm sure that they're suffering a lot of mental anguish right now.
Major Gardner, is it difficult for you to watch these scenes, the people waiting, seeing what's that damage, that terrible damage being done to the Pentagon building itself?
Well, structures can be replaced, but lives cannot. And so I think that I'm really moved and feel sympathy and compassion towards the families of those who are carried off in either body bags or to the hospitals. It's always the ones that are home. In Vietnam, I never worried particularly about getting hurt or killed, but I did worry about the my family at home and how I didn't want my kids growing up without a father, but as far as me personally, I never was that concerned about it.
Major Tuesday, everyone who was in your seminar, did they get out safely?
Oh yeah. I think I was one of the last out. There's no doubt of that.
We certainly appreciate you sharing your story with us this morning.
Well, my pleasure.
That retired Marine Major Wayne Gardner, who was in the Pentagon for a seminar at the time of that attack, what he heard. And so I was also struck, he mentioned something interesting. He said when the fire alarm went off, he did not immediately recognize it as such, and keep in mind that he was not assigned there, he was there for a seminar. And of course that's common at the Pentagon, that people, contractors might be there, or people coming in for seminars there during short term. So I wonder if there were others perhaps who did not at first recognize that this was a fire alarm. And
of course one of the other problems, if you ever try to use a cell phone at the Pentagon, getting it to penetrate those thick concrete walls when you're inside, even in the civilian areas that we have access to, like the cafeteria, it's always very difficult. No doubt why they had trouble out in the hallway itself.
Right.